So today we are uncovering 10 subtle signs of hypothyroidism that most people often overlook. And at the end of this video, you are going to know when is the right time to go get your thyroid functions tested. One of the few moments I can easily recall was when I was in my final rotation and I was in the OPD, that's the outpatient department. I'm trying to see patients and those who have come for review and etc. You know how it goes, right? You go, your doctor will tell you this and that and what to do. So I had the opportunity to attend to one patient. I will call him Mark for this conversation's sake. Now, Mark came in, he had come in earlier, so about 2 weeks, and then we took some blood samples, sent it to the lab, and he came in for his review. There was an issue with his thyroid gland, that is the small little butterfly shaped gland right in front of the neck. He told us after an 8-hour sleep, he wakes up in the morning and all he feels is something like he just slept for 2 hours. He feels so fatigued. He couldn't do anything in the course of the day. Also, he felt that anytime he enters the toilet to have a shower, he realizes that his hair kept on breaking, or they were thinning. He passes a tiny little comb through it, and all he sees is that this comb goes through so simply like that, which is not supposed to be so. If you're a black person, for instance, you should know that the hair is a bit curly. Sometimes when it's growing, you need to use a very big comb in order to fit the hair, right? And also, he kept on experiencing things like dull skin. He felt he was supposed to be glowing. He had a very good complexion, so he felt his skin was supposed to be glowing because he was using good products to make sure his skin glows, but nothing was working out no matter how healthy he ate, and he tries to work out every little time, but the scale wouldn't just budge. He thought it was something related to stress. He had to reduce his work hours. He thought all that were going to help him, but little did he know the hormone the gland is secreting, that is the thyroid hormones, was so little that it wasn't able to help him metabolize anything in his body. First is unexplained fatigue and low energy. Now, this is what is happening. The major function of the thyroid is supposed to cause metabolism, provide the body with energy, and gain growth. It's regulated by the hormones T3 and T4, TSH. You don't need to know all the names, all right? So let's just stay to that. Now, imagine driving an electric vehicle. Now, this vehicle goes at certain mph, but immediately the power of the vehicle, the electric mode of the vehicle begins to taper down. It means the car will begin to slow down. That is exactly what is happening. The metabolic system has begun to slow down, and so you begin, instead of gaining the energy, there is no energy. You begin to feel tired easily, just like the electric car. You begin to feel tired easily. You can't do anything. Your body tends to shut down. Your body goes into the slow mode sector, whereby you can't do much about it. Now, the second leads us to sudden weight gain or unexplained weight gain. This is very important because in majority of people, the metabolic system is supposed to break down the things that comes into the body, but in the course of this, so it's just like a machine that has to work in order to bring out the nutrients in the body or in the blood to provide to the body. But here lies the case: the metabolic system, the machine, is not working. It's not working. So it tends to accumulate the toxins, all the things that your body doesn't even need in the body. Thereby, you tend to gain a lot of weight. When you take in protein, it doesn't break down. It's just the same thing, stays in your body. Fat, multivitamins, everything you take in, the body tends to accumulate it, and then you tend to see yourself bloating in size. Even when you try to lose weight, it doesn't work out. You'll be doing all the workouts, you go to the gym, you take whatever medication, the teas, whatever. It doesn't work out. Kindly go and check your thyroid. Next is dry skin and brittle hair. I made mention of the hair earlier as a result of Max, one of his symptoms he presented with. So with the dry skin, imagine the body is filled with lipids, okay, both the external part and the internal layers. The lipids are supposed to protect the body, the things that enters into the body and what comes out of the body. Because the thyroid function is so slow or low, the production of oil and the proteins have been reduced absolutely, and this will prevent it from feeding the skin. When you get injured, instead of the protein and the oily nature of the body try to repair all the worn out tissues, it's unable to, because the body's metabolic system is so slow, and these are really causing a lot of harm. The next is feeling cold all the time. You see, it's not just in temperate areas where people tend to feel cold. If your thyroid is very slow in action or in metabolism, this is what is happening. The thyroid is responsible for some of the temperature regulations in the body. Now, in this phase of your body, when everyone is feeling hot or warm, just you, only you tend to feel cold at certain areas, especially at the extremities, your legs, your hands, the tip of your nostrils, your lips, and etc. When these things are happening, try as much as possible to go and check if there is anything to do with your thyroid. I'm happy to bring you this particular point: low mood or depression. The brain and the thyroid has a very significant role they play with each other. The biochemistry of the brain, so hormones such as serotonin, which helps in the mood of an individual. When the thyroid function is very low, it suppresses or prevents the production of the serotonin, which means that you might be feeling depressed. You wake up in the morning, you don't feel like doing anything. Your confidence in doing things has gone down. You don't even get involved in activities throughout the entire day, and all these things are because the thyroid hormone has tipped you into depression. This is very important. Slow heart rate or intolerance to exercise. Many people sometimes have been feeling palpitations. They tend to get their heart beat like constantly, and they can even feel it. In that sense, you are having a hypothyroidism. Why is that so? Because the hormones in the blood are over secreting. That's the thyroid hormone. It's over secreting. And in the opposite way, you don't even feel your heart beat. Sometimes it may even skip certain beats. When you try to exercise, you realize that just after 5 minutes, you are panting, you are all tired, weak, you don't know what to do. There is nothing, so energetic you can do by yourself. The heart is not acting properly because the hormone that regulates the metabolism of the heart is not functioning adequately, and this will cause a lot of issues. You may start experiencing things like bradycardia, which is not too healthy. You need to see the doctors. There are instances you may be having puffy face or swelling on the face. Now, this is because there is high levels of fluid retention in the body. If the body was having good metabolism system, then it means that water will not retain in the body. Immediately you drink in, the water goes into the body, tries to sort the entire systemic circulation out, and then it comes out through urine, feces, sweat, and all the ways that water can come out. But when the metabolism system is not functioning adequately, all the water tends to stay in the third space. This major point will surprise you. Many people have been experiencing constipation. For example, I had a patient who told me, the only time I'm able to visit the loo is when I'm menstruating. Of course, because there are hormones that are maybe impeding on your gut movement. There is slow gut when you have hypothyroidism. If you are someone who is experiencing this, kindly take it as a major thing. Go and check your thyroid function, and if that is true, then you will know that your gut is not functioning adequately. I mentioned metabolism. It has to help you break down everything that comes into your body. In order for the gut to move adequately, peristalsis come out of the body. The sad truth about this point is about infertility. Majority of the times, because of irregular menses, you tend to even lose your ovulation counts or the timing and the things surrounding your reproductive system. When you have hypothyroidism, there is a constant relation between the thyroid and the ovaries, thereby dysregulating the ovaries from its production of the necessary hormones. This leads to the irregular menses. And the last one is brain fog or low concentration. There are a lot of people who experience this. Of course, when you are already in a low mood, you are depressed, your guts, you are constantly having constipation, right? Of course, your concentration will always be very, very low. You can't concentrate on anything. Immediately you think about this, you lose the concentration. If you don't write it down or take an action immediately, you tend to lose concentration because, as I mentioned earlier, there is a chemical relation between the brain and the thyroid, and that is what will lead to this. If you recognize several of these symptoms or signs in your individual self or your body, this might be the thyroid telling you to do something about it before it gets worse. You can go see your doctor. They can request for a simple blood test, which will include a thyroid function test, which will include TSH, T3 and T4. If this is helpful to you, you can just hit on the like button, kindly subscribe to the channel, and also put in the comment section which of the symptoms do you find present in yourself, or share it to a friend and let them also comment what they think or they might be experiencing. See you in the next video.